Welcome to Granger Talk. Today, Jamie and I will sit down with Tim Wilkerson, a former Granger graduate, to talk about the Diversity Scholars Foundation. You do not want to miss this episode. Let's go.
And welcome back to another edition of Granger Talk. Today we are honored to sit down with Mr. Tim Wilkerson, a proud LaGrange High School graduate and now Senior Vice President of Home Depot Services at Home Depot. Tim has led a remarkable career, but what makes this conversation special today is his dedication to giving back. Through the Diversity Scholars Foundation, Mr. Wilkerson and his wife, Camille, are opening doors for our students here at LaGrange High School, helping them pursue higher education. This program is built on the powerful mission to empower students through financial assistance, mentorship, and resources while fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion in our schools and beyond. We're excited to sit down with Mr. Wilkerson today, not just about his career, but about the impact of the Diverse Scholars Program and what it means for Grangers here at LHS. So please welcome Mr. Tim Wilkerson.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkerson. So as we start, we just kind of want to talk about your journey and your career and kind of as you've gone through different stages of your life in those areas. You joined Home Depot, or you've been with Home Depot since 1996. We kind of know, I know a little bit about your college career and things like that, graduating from Georgia Southern and all. But just take us through the many different leadership roles that you've had in some of those different companies, especially through Home Depot, and what the lessons that you learned here at LaGrange High School has helped you prepare for the journey that you're currently on.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the question. So I did attend Georgia Southern, graduated there with a degree in business management. From there, went to work for Walmart, and really fortunate, I started my career in a salaried leadership role as soon as I stepped into Walmart, there for about 3 years, and then spent about 3 years as well at the Best Buy company. And then I joined Home Depot, and Jamie, as you mentioned, 29 years later, I'm still there, just really amazed at the culture. I started in Home Depot as an assistant manager in supply chain, and I can't count probably the number of promotions that I've had over the years. But I've been fortunate to work in supply chain. I've worked in store operations. I've worked in merchandising, and now I run what is the largest home improvement installation business in the United States. And just been really fortunate to be able to move from area to area. Now, so as I look back over my career, the thing that I would say, just from one word standpoint, has been discipline. And all those days of summer camp, 2-a-day camps down here on this football field, right? Working hard each and every day, trying to just get a little bit better, has been what my career has been about. So being disciplined to learn the business when I needed to learn it, being disciplined to put in the hours that I needed to put in, and being disciplined to really exceed expectations throughout the course of my career is one of the main reasons why I am where I am today in my career.
And where do you think that discipline comes from? I know that, you and I have talked a little bit about your story, off air and things like that. So it's not like you had just the glamorous, life as far as a child and coming up. So it was really like you had to find that and somebody had to help instill that in you. Tell us a little about where that came from.
Yeah. I sort of had the hunger really early on. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think God blessed me to be short for a reason. Right? I wasn't the most athletic football player that's ever walked, the halls of LaGrange High School. But I knew in order to compete, I had to outwork everyone else to be just as good. And then for me, I also thought that if I worked when everyone else was resting, it would give me a leg up. Yeah. And that type of discipline really, really paid off. I mean, we had, 4 successful years while I was here. And I, really have taken that mindset throughout everything I've done. It's like, if it comes down to my time and the decisions that I needed to make, I'm going to choose work over fun. I'm going to choose to be disciplined over that, because I know it's going to pay me back in the long run. And so I have never been one that's been afraid of hard work, because I've always understood the value of it at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah. Can we go to the kind of history, the evolution of the Diversity Scholars foundation, the scholarship we're talking about here. So how did it start, and how has it kind of evolved over the last, 5 years?
5 years,
Yeah.
yeah. So, 5 years is really have got here on us quick. So, 5 years ago, my mom passed away. And, I've been living in Atlanta since 2014, and I've always been really active in the community. I sit on 5 nonprofit boards throughout the Atlanta area. So just giving back has been something that I've been doing for a really long time. After my mom passed, I came to LaGrange, and I went to my old neighborhood. I, walked the streets where Brookwood Terrace, Key Street, Hamilton Road, Union Street. I just parked and I walked that block. And it just dawned on me that I was like, I'm doing all this nonprofit work and giving back, but I'm not giving back to the area that raised me.
Right.
That block raised me, and that block really instilled a lot in me. I mean, the neighborhood raised me, and then just so much of my life, I reflect back. Did Jamie start with my time here at LaGrange High School? Right. I mean, the teachers, the coaches, you name it, really poured into me, and I had such a great experience here. Then I was like, why am I not giving back to this community that had gave so much to me? And so I talked to my wife about it, and we started year one. We had 3 students that we gave scholarships to, $3,500 each, and that was good. And then go back to the school administration, like, I want to double, I want to do more, and so we double year 2, we double year 3, and now in year 5 there are 9 students in college. Absolutely love those students. I mean, Jamie and I have spent a lot of time with those students. Oh my God, they are amazing. And so we continue to support them, work with them, counsel them, give them career advice as they trying to navigate college. And then also, though, I just felt a need, like, okay, how can we better prepare the students even before they go to college? Yeah. That's like the most ideal situation. And that's why this year we launched the Diversity College Career Academy here at school for the 10th graders. So we'll have 19 total students in the program, and we could not be more excited.
And so with that, we've got the financial support, which you kind of talked about earlier, but it's evolved to be more than that. And Jamie mentioned it earlier. It's not just financial support, it's now the mentorship as well. It's getting family involvement. Can you speak a little bit to why that is so important?
Yeah, I felt like I was missing something by just giving the money. Okay, well, got it, I want to give back, but that just wasn't enough, right? Just giving the students, in particular, so they go off to school, we give them the scholarship money the fall of their freshman year, and, then I lost connection with them. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's not good, because, I could help more. Even while they're in college, I can 100% help more. I can help them get internships. I can give them advice. I can reach out to my network, and my network can get involved. And just so real quick, even my kids can get involved. So those students that are denying students, my kids help mentor them now since all of them graduated. So I felt like that was a need. And then it was like, spending time with Jamie and Nichelle, who used to work here. It's like, okay, now how can we do more early on? We just saw that need to really get into the high school, and let's give them development early on to, 1, to better prepare them for college. Then 2, hopefully they can get financial aid to get into college. And then you sort of start this flywheel effect, right? So you have these students that are in college, they come out of college, they get a job, they move on into their career, you got the high school going, and you just get this flywheel effect happening. And that's when I think it's become special. Yeah.
And that's what I've seen the evolution of this program. It's meant so much just to me, watching you be excited about it and the passion that you have, and not just giving back financially, but just constantly asking those questions like, what are we still missing? What are we still missing? What can we do? Not necessarily more, but what can we do better to better prepare our kids? That, just giving them money to go to college, some of them just aren't going, or they're not staying, or whatever. So what element are we missing? And I heard you talk about family and the mentorship, but it just kind of kept coming back to family and parents and grandparents, but then also your own, and how you and Miss Camille, and then your kids yourself. So, I mean, you've got 4 kids that y'all have raised, and you're looking at this whole thing from, the family aspect of it, and what can you continue to build there and maybe change some of that generational family ties. So how have you managed to balance family and career and mentorship and civic duties and community leadership all at one time?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, yeah, I have a full-time, really demanding job. But so we have 4 kids, and each of our 4 kids, we're super proud of them. Each one of them graduated from college. 3 of them, got multiple degrees. We have one that we're really proud of. He just graduated this past summer, and now he's a doctor. He's a child psychologist in New York. We have another one who's an architect in Philly, another son who's in supply chain with Walmart in Dallas, and our daughter is pursuing her PhD at University of Central Florida. So the thing that, with my wife and I, really early on, we split responsibilities. And my responsibility since birth has been education. That has been my primary responsibility. So whatever my kids I needed from early on, elementary school on, if it's a, session with a counselor, if a session with a teacher, as they got into high school, making sure they were enrolled in the right classes, always checking their GPA. Even when they got to college, I had access to their academics. I could check their grades every semester, understand what are you taking, what do you need to pursue. And then as they continue to go, like, okay, if you want to go on and get this degree, and before I go too far, by the time my kids got to the 9th and 10th grade, we really had a good sense of what they wanted to pursue in their life. And so once we understood what their career journey wanted to be, then we sort of tailored their life from there. And so it was always a plan and being able to check the box. And that's why I think it's so important that we sort of understand in a roundabout way what is required to get you to where you want to be in life.
Right.
And that's why we really let's stay connected to these students in college,
right?
Because we do think that there's a way to make that come to fruition.
What advice would you give to students at LHS? We have students that will listen to this and want to be involved in this in the future. So what advice would you give to students who are listening to this who have faced certain challenges, similar challenges to what you had growing up? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean, it was hard. I mean, one is when, I was raised in poverty. I was a free lunch kid my entire grade school life. And so going without and having the minimum and, showing up to school and not having many options of clothes to wear and all this kind of thing. I mean, I went through that. I experienced it. So I know how hard that can be. But then on the flip side, that should be fuel.
Right.
I mean, it absolutely should be fuel to that. You want to seek to do better, and it really comes down to hard work and dedication. And if what I found just in my time at LaGrange High School was there's never a point in time where a counselor teacher wasn't willing to help me.
Yeah.
I never, ever. There was never a point in time where I could not go and have a conversation. The coaches really became father figures in my life. I mean, just really did. So, being able to sit down and have real life conversations with administrators was just really important to me. And I would say as well, what you have to get comfortable with in some cases is being different. Mm-hmm. You just have to. I give you an example. When I was here, we didn't have AP classes. We had like grade level. You're either taking A level classes or you're taking B level classes, right? And so I was taking A level classes. All my friends were taking B level classes. And so I want to hang out with my friends. And so I took a B level class. And, a counselor came to me and was like, don't you ever do that again. Like, do not ever do that again.
Yeah.
And it was just great advice. It's like, you do have to be comfortable with being different.
Yeah. So growing up with those challenges, and you have already mentioned it earlier, how you would still choose work over fun, right? And instilled in you in coaches and the village, but obviously your mother. Mm-hmm. And so your mother, you mentioned, passed away in 2020, and that was kind of the catalyst to start this foundation. How does this foundation keep her legacy alive in your mind?
Oh yeah, that's a fantastic question. So from the time that I was here in school and just really through the time that my mom passed, what really drove me was to hear her say that she was proud of me.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was everything to me. Like, and so my mom had a massive stroke, like 2 months after I got married, and I've been married 33 years. And so her voice, she had a stroke, she was paralyzed on her right side, and so her voice wasn't that great, and then it really impacted her speech. But what she could say to me was, I love you and I'm proud of you. And so that what life was all about for me, was just really making sure she was proud. And I do think, um, if she's looking down on me, she would say that, Tim, I'm proud of you. And particularly the fact that I am back here in LaGrange doing this.
Yeah.
I think that was makes it special.
Like, what do you hope that those students, when they look back and they say, I was a part of something different. You talk about being different. I was a part of something different. What do you hope that they say about this program, and then what it really kind of the catalyst, what it does for them moving forward?
Yeah. Jamie, I hope they say a couple of things. One, I hope they said we made a difference. I hope they say we made a difference. And then two, I hope they say it shone a light on the abilities that they already had. That, they have the ability to be successful. And I hope just for us being able to give them this exposure, that they look back on us like, wow, that was a pivotal moment in my life that changed the trajectory of my family.
Yeah.
Right. And Jamie, we were talking about it earlier. I also hope they give back.
Right.
I mean, really, Jamie, I would say like the group of 9 students that are in their sophomore years in college, when they graduate in 2 to 3 years and they get in their careers, Jamie, I hope they're coming back. It's like someone gave me an opportunity that I wouldn't normally have had.
Right.
I'm going to pay that back, right? And you can begin to get that happening. And then I think you're winning, right? But that's really what I hope, these group of students, like, this moment in my life changed for me. And like, so you and I, we took a group of students to Georgia Southern University. Right. The looks on their faces when they're walking the sideline of that football field.
Correct. Yeah. Won't forget it.
Won't forget it.
That's right.
I just absolutely won't forget it.
There's something outside of LaGrange.
There's something, right.
It's just opening those doors to those possibilities, to things and the abilities or the talents that they already have.
That they already have, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, last here, finally, what does it mean to you personally to still be called a Granger after all these years? When we walked in a while ago, one of your board members says, hey, I just got a quick question for you. Like, what is a Granger? And it's like, it didn't take us long to say, a Granger is a champion. So
absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. There's something I think of, that's unique about coming through LaGrange High School. And Jamie, you described it as grit, and I'm gonna steal that from you, and I'm gonna keep it.
Go right ahead.
Because I do think you come through these halls and you work your butt off, and you have all these challenges outside of school, and you're able to step into these walls and focus on your academics and put forth, an amazing level of effort. And sometimes you're not understanding the benefit and the result of the why.
Right.
Sometimes you just don't know why you are doing what you're doing. And so back to the question of what back to the younger self, it is, it is pressing forward. And the hardest of time is pressing forward, because you got to know that there is something better for you out there. But we all are going to go through challenging times.
Right.
I mean, it just, but you do find out who you are during those moments. So, yeah.
Yeah, and grit, is something that we've held on to here for quite some time, especially when I became principal. Greatness requires intentional toughness. And, if you're intentional about your actions, regardless of what the situations are, easy, tough, it doesn't matter. And you've made a decision to, either seek greatness or, mediocrity. And nobody wants to be mediocre, nobody wants to be average. But as long as you've got that end result in mind and you know what you're working towards and why you're doing it, nothing can stop you.
Absolutely. So. I agree with you. I was telling one of the board members when we walked in, I was like, I cannot wait to go back to work. And, for these students, this past May, I was at a conference for Home Depot, and I was presenting. And I presented to them my why. Why do I get up every day and do what I do? And I put a picture up, Jamie, of the students when we were at Georgia Southern that we took with the president. And I was like, this is my why. Yeah. This is why I work as hard as I work, because these students deserve my best.
And we're glad that that's your why.
Yeah, that's my why. That's my why.
Well, guys, what an amazing conversation with Mr. Tim Wilkerson today. From his incredible journey and career at the Home Depot to the creation of the Diversity Scholars Program, it's clear how much he truly values giving back and making a difference, especially here at LaGrange High School. The Diversity Scholars Foundation is more than financial aid. It's about membership. It's about mentorship. It's about opportunity, about honoring the legacy and the perseverance and resilience of individuals. We're grateful to Mr. Wilkerson and his wife, Miss Camille, for the impact that they're making on the community that we live in on a daily basis and continuing to carry on that Granger spirit. So thank you for listening to another edition of Granger Talk. Be sure to subscribe and share this episode and join us next time as we continue to celebrate the people and the stories that make LHS so special. Until then, go Grangers.
Go Granger.